The European Union has always had a clear view of itself. Moral, fair, competent, calm, informed, and finding strength in numbers. But during the vaccine rollout, that's coming under pressure.
It really goes against their core self-image as a champion of multilateralism and proselytizer of free trade.
First, there's the idea that together is better.
The framework we are all working in is a framework of 27. Together we are negotiating, together we are procuring, and together we're bringing forward this vaccination process.
They have acted together, but was it better? The EU signed vaccine deals months after the UK, and in the EU, less than 3% of people have received at least one jab. In the UK, it's 14%. That's linked to a huge row with AstraZeneca over a delay in vaccine supply. And many blame the European Commission, including the leader of Bavaria in Germany, who says bluntly, the order was placed too late and then only a few companies were chosen. Operational responsibility clearly lies with Brussels. The EU's joined-up approach has struggled to deliver. Next, there's the EU's much publicised opposition to vaccine nationalism.
When it comes to fighting a global pandemic, there is no place for me first.
But those ideals bit the dust the moment the EU threatened to block exports of vaccines made in the EU.
Today, the Commission has adopted an implementing regulation making the export of certain products subject to an export authorization. This regulation concerns the transparency and export of COVID-19 vaccines.
And these weren't just any type of export blocks. Remember how the EU spent the entire Brexit process insisting that in no circumstances could there be any border checks between the Republic of Ireland, an EU member, and Northern Ireland in the UK. This kind of thing.
Throughout these negotiations, the EU and the UK were fully committed to protect peace, to protect stability on the island of Ireland.
That sentiment appeared to have been mislaid on Friday as the EU unveiled a plan to ignore part of the Brexit deal by blocking the movement of vaccines moving from the EU into the UK across the Irish border. The EU should have been able to predict the reaction of the Irish government, given that it was exactly how the EU's been reacting on this issue for years.
It took 4 years to put the protocol together. People were blindsided by the decision that was taken and its implications for the protocol.
Politico noted that the European Commission had, for a moment, achieved the seemingly impossible task of uniting Britain's Brexiteers and Remainers, Northern Ireland's Democratic Unionists and Sinn Féin, as well as Dublin and London against them. Within hours, the EU had withdrawn the threat. Also on Friday, as the EU appeared to be doing everything possible to protect its interests above other considerations, it was insisting
we are not protecting ourselves against any specific country, and we're not in competition or in a race against any country. The only race we're in is against this virus.
But it looked like there was a race going on with anyone else who wanted access to vaccines produced in Europe. And there was a race between senior EU figures over who could generate the most negative PR. One contender was Emmanuel Macron, who attacked the UK for declining to share some of its vaccines. What politics does Great Britain wish to choose, he said. It cannot be the best ally of the US, the best ally of the EU and the new Singapore. It has to choose a model. Well, for his part, Mr Macron's model was to enter territory normally left for the scientists. Hours after the EU had approved the AstraZeneca vaccine for use, the French president told us everything points to thinking it's quasi-ineffective on people older than 65. Cue much scratching of heads. As Professor John Bell, a leading geneticist who helped develop the vaccine, put it.
Yes, I'm not sure where he got that from.
And if Emmanuel Macron was busy criticising the UK for not sharing a vaccine that he was criticising, senior Commission figure Martin Selmayr also commented, tweeting proudly, and we've translated, the EU has seen 12 million people vaccinated in 3 weeks. And then, having looked around for a comparison he liked, he told us, and in Africa, only 20,000 people have been vaccinated so far. When that sentiment was questioned, Mr Selmayr tweeted back, some humility and more solidarity would be appropriate. But humility has been in short supply. Indignant might be a better word for the EU in recent days. Ursula von der Leyen has wanted to emphasise the good the EU's done.
Europe invested billions to help develop the world's first COVID-19 vaccines, to create a truly global common good. And now the companies must deliver.
But if that happened, why didn't the EU tie those investments to guarantees of vaccines? The EU also thinks AstraZeneca guaranteed to deliver millions of vaccines by the end of March. But AstraZeneca doesn't think that it did. Now, either those guarantees aren't in the contract or the EU's agreed a deal that AstraZeneca misunderstood. Neither explanation reflects well on the EU. Peter Tiede from the German tabloid Bild has written in the Times newspaper that the EU did not do what it's supposed to do, take care of our Europe, and our 27 governments either did not intervene or intervened too late. The fact that we in Germany can only vaccinate at a snail's pace is our humiliation, he writes, especially when we look at the island that once belonged to our EU. All of which raises many questions. The European Union takes pride in competence, but faced with the greatest crisis for decades, it hasn't got the vaccines it needs to save as many lives as possible. Worse, some of the reasons why are of its doing, and the sense of people losing their cool is palpable.